What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, it's been an exciting week, I might say. We're finally seeing some Bitcoin rallies, some altcoin rallies. The 90-day pause between China and America, the tariffs being lowered in the meantime to 10%. Lots of stuff happening. Yeah, Bitcoin doing well, Ethereum doing really well, loads of other altcoins doing well. We're back. Uh, I would say in greed territory, almost extreme greed territory, actually. I do still think there's very good grounds for caution. I think this will be a temporary rally because a lot of the original issues are still looming over the horizon. So, yeah, let's not dwell on this for too long. Let's get into the rest of the video. Once again, these are my personal opinions, not a financial advisor whatsoever, just someone who shares what he sees. And if you like his videos, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to follow along on any exchange I use, feel free to use the links down in the description below, and let's get into it. All right, so here we are back at CoinMarketCap. Finally, as I said, we're back in that greed territory, seeing a big increase in the crypto market cap in general. We're still well above that $3 trillion border, I'd say. Yeah, we seem to have well and truly passed it this time. I think it'll be like a symbolic line in the near future if we keep it or not. I'm very skeptical about it because, as I said, I still think there's a lot of grounds for being worried. But I think now is a good time to take some profits. I actually took out profits of quite a lot of crypto. Actually, I took some profits on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, pretty much all my longer term holds, and some of the smaller ones. Axelar, I talked about it in the video a while back. I took a little profit off of that. I took a little profit out of AVAX, and well, you get the general idea. Pretty much everything is up on the 7 days. So if we just grab the crypto bubbles really quick. If we look at the weekly, possibly even the monthly, everything is green. Now, what do we do when everything is green? We take profits, so we're able to buy back cheaper later. By the way, I also took some profits out of Caspa, so pretty much I have my 20-30% cash waiting on the sidelines to see what happens next. If we do bounce up or go up further, yeah, I'll just take out a little bit more profit because eventually we're going to see a dip. There's always a next dip. So on the next price decrease, on a nice opportunity or some fearful market moment, we will have the funds to buy more. Additionally to my monthly buy-ins, I will have the cash to buy those cheaper prices. Pretty much all according to plan. As I said, I do think we will see those. And another indicator for that is fear and greed index. We're almost in extreme greed. So if we open it, the computer's a little slow. But if we see, look what happened here. Each time we reach that extreme greed, we bounce back down. Now, we bounced a little further around this area, but that was also because of the tariffs. I can see it's a little bit hidden between my this picture, but let's check. So around here, we bounce back way down here. We're almost in extreme greed again, and it's very likely to assume that we will bounce back down again. And a similar thing happened here, and if we would go further back in time, we would see a similar chart. And this goes back all the way to 2023. Now, obviously, we're in a very volatile time period with a lot of uncertainty because I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going to happen. Pretty much only Donald Trump knows. And yeah, with the 90-day tariff pause on both the EU, Canada, etc., but now also on China, obviously it's a very good positive market moment. So it's pushing across all markets. And yes, we can see Bitcoin being up from way back. I think the lowest was around 74, 75, which we hit, and it's now up to 103, and it was up to 105. Obviously, that's a huge, nice increase on Bitcoin alone. Also think that's a little to do with people finding a safe haven, which is not the dollar, because I still think the dollar will decrease. But we can also see the S&P 500, and it was already starting to climb up, but the news from the 90-day tariff pause obviously pushed it further. So all actually very positive news, and we're actually back around the price point of January, March, during the crash, but January before the crash. So it could very well mean that we might hit some safer waters for the next few months, and maybe even on our stock portfolios might be able to take a little bit more gains out. Now, I have a bit of a golden rule on my stock portfolio. I usually don't sell, only buy, because they're long-term holds and they pay me dividends. But maybe on this price increase, I'll take a little profit. But I'm not 100% sure on that yet, because it doesn't really matter in my opinion, because dividends pay dividends, dividends go back in, it's profit either way. And if I sell them, I don't get the dividends. So that might be a reason to just keep those. But from a crypto, obviously a lot more volatile. Always take a little bit of profits out, keep the cash on the side, be able to buy back cheaper. It's also because it's higher percentages, and crypto doesn't pay dividends. Maybe a little staking here and there, but not every party offers it, and it's not always safe to do it. So I'd rather not do it on my crypto, because I want to keep my crypto, as I'm sure a lot of you guys agree with. Now, I saw a few more articles. I've been handling them in pretty much every video. BRICS, European firms get requests for local currencies, not US dollar. Now, as I said before, these BRICS countries are trying to move their trade, global trade, away from the dollar, which is, of course, very bad news for the dollar. And I think the actions of Donald Trump have pushed this in a bit of faster current. Countries looking more actively to do this, looking more actively to move away from the dollar, and being incentivized by America to do just that. And even though there's tariff pauses and trade being enabled again, let's call it enabled, but it's still like, yeah, you will trade in the meantime while you have to, but America's shown its colors, and if you can do without, or you can safeguard yourself, why not move a big party? Why not spread your risk? We do this in stocks and buying and selling it anyway, so why not do this on a global scale? So I definitely think these BRICS countries are going to keep doing this. I think yeah, I think this is the most logical course of action after everything that's happened. And this is another article. Goodbye US dollar. 8 nations offer Chinese yuan amid de-dollarization. So the de-dollarization agenda is now gaining worldwide traction as the US dollar keeps displaying significant price volatility. The regular fluctuations accounted by the American. In essence, it's too volatile. It's become very volatile. The backing behind it is losing ground. So it's safer to assume that the dollar is going to depreciate more in value. So yeah, for global trade, these are things you don't want to do. You don't want, and for countries that already have dollars, the trades that they will close, they will have to pay more for the same products. So it's inflation on top of regular inflation. It's devaluation of your currency. And for Americans in general, for even local banks, local companies, local neighbors in America will lose valuation of their savings, of their assets. Basically, anything that is appreciated against dollars could either lose money, or if you possibly have a whole Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin will increase as opposed to it. But if you're holding dollars or dollar valuations on your assets, savings, whatever, it's very safe to assume that you will lose out on a lot of valuation. And it could be several percent. I'm not 100% sure how far that will go, but it's very safe to assume that it's happened. It will keep happening. So very, very safe bet, buy Bitcoin, and we we can see that as the dollar was dropping, the Bitcoin was increasing. Obviously, it's not the only reason. I don't think it's the only reason, but I think it is a very good reason, and I think it's a fundamental reason. Nobody can go around it. I think it's also the reason why gold kept increasing in price so much, and why it decreased a little bit over the last few days. Obviously, because gold also rose in price a lot, but also there's some faith returning to stocks and the dollar a little bit because of the tariff pauses, etc. So then we see cash flow out of gold again. It's regular motions, but I think it's something for the future definitely to keep track of. And I think Bitcoin and gold will be very safe bets against this future. So that was a little bit about what I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to talk a little bit about eToro, a new IPO on the stock, a little different than the crypto I usually talk about. But I'm a popular investor on the platform. Honestly, I've not been as active on that platform as I should have been. I am still buying stocks on it, but I just thought it was sorry. I just thought it was a cool price increase. I think it listed at I closed the tab, but it listed at around $50. It went up all the way to $72. So for a stock IPO, I think that's a very high evaluation, or at least a very, very high volatility for a stock. So I'm eager to see what this does, and I might actually, when the price drops a little bit, because I don't want to buy the absolute top of this. But if it does drop down a little bit, I might actually buy the underlying stock as well. And I think it's good to also to not be focused on just crypto assets. I think it's good to keep track of this as well. And an added bonus is eToro is actually also a crypto broker nowadays. They used to only offer CFDs, contracts for difference, but now they also offer actual crypto holdings, and you're able to transfer crypto to it as well. So I think that could be a very interesting IPO, maybe even bigger valuation. I think its market cap is currently around 6 billion, and I think it will be one to watch. I think it'll be interesting. So, having said that, we can see Ethereum, and I think it's always interesting to see the Ethereum chart as opposed to the Bitcoin chart. I mean, yeah, it's been very stagnant, but this last bump is classic Bitcoin Ethereum. We saw a bit of a slowdown on Bitcoin, so we see an increase on the altcoins and Ethereum. I think that's a very good traditionally movement of all the cryptos, because volume in Bitcoin starts to die down and starts to shift to the altcoin. So I'm thinking maybe it could be a bigger indicator of more movement to the altcoins. So maybe we see a bigger altcoin market form, and I think we can also see that a little bit in the altcoin season index. Yes, we're still in Bitcoin, but we have moved to the right side a lot. So I think that this could be a very good indicator. And as I said in the last video or in my live streams, I think the altcoins definitely still have a place in crypto, and I don't think I think there's plenty of cash to share. I don't think Bitcoin will be the sole thunder stealer in the crypto market. I think there's plenty of more growth for legitimate altcoin projects, and I think projects like Solana and Sui are very good projects because they have a good use case. They're very cheap to use. They're user friendly. There's hype surrounding them. They have big volumes. So and active teams. So I think that'll be very good indicators for projects coming up in the altcoin market. Yeah, I name these two now, but obviously I hold more and I look out for these projects every day. I also hold Ethereum, also because I think Ethereum will be the silver as opposed to the Bitcoin's gold status of digital gold. All right, so these were my thoughts for this week. Again, as I said, a lot happened, but then again, not a lot changed. But I think we did good. I took a lot of profits, and then now I'm just waiting. All right, guys, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to. If not, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.